Hello, everyone. I'm Buford MC, and welcome back to another adventure in GregTech New Horizons. So, since the last episode, I have been working in the base again, and I think I'm finally starting to get kind of finished up now with this round of expansion that I've been doing. So, today I want to show off what I've been doing, and I also want to do a couple of quests as well. So let's get right into it. So we're starting up here on the mountain next to the base, and I wanted to start off by doing a little bit of an aerial view of the base. So I've got my hang glide, and we're just going to go and take a little bit of a fly over there. So this is the base from above, and, we've got quite a few things. So one thing, by the way, you will notice immediately is I have added some more solar boilers. So I've added quite a few things in the base now, but this is the first thing I noticed. We now are running, I believe that's 24 high-pressure solar boilers, so we have 2 more water tanks. Each water tank has 6 solar boilers, so we're running pretty good on those right there. And, yeah, so we've got more power going into the base because we're going to need that power going forward. Here's the rest of the base from above. You can see we've got quite a few different farming areas, actually. We've got our animal pens over there. We've got our windmill, which we don't really use anymore. That's the charcoal pit over there. We don't use that either. We've got our huge trees, which we chop down for a lot of wood. Over here, actually, we have our orchard area where we have all of our trees. And then those 2 plots there for crop breeding. And yeah, we've got a bunch of stuff over here still. So yeah, and a lot more room for further expansion on the surface as well. So let's drop down then and go ahead, head on into the base finally. So there's been a lot of stuff I've been doing around inside the base. So I think we're finally at a point now where this round of expansion is winding down. And I'll show you around first. So we'll come up here to start. And as you'll see, there's been some changes up onto these wings of the base now. So coming over here, you'll probably notice that our multi-blocks, we had our macerator and our ores over here and our compressor. Those have been moved to other areas, and instead now I've added a new row for single block machines. So we now have more slots available for additional LV machines. As you can see over here, we had all these over here now. Now I've added more, and down below I've added more turbines as well. I think you can just barely up. There you go. We got 2 there, and we've got 2 there, basically the exact same setup we had on this side. And I've already added a couple of machines. I had a macerator that I never installed over here because we didn't need it, but I just put it here just for now. I may remove it later. I did go ahead and also make another bending machine, and this bending machine is actually going to be used for making the foils. So I put it on circuit 10 because I ran into an issue where, well, not really an issue, it's my own mistake. So I have this bending machine here, which I use for plates and stuff on circuit 1. Sometimes you need the foils, and, well, sometimes I end up putting things that I want plates, and I end up putting them in at circuit 10 so I get foils. So to hopefully alleviate that problem, this is going to permanently be used for plates. This bending machine will permanently be used for foils, and it'll be set to circuit 10. So that's what I've got there. But we still have, I think we have like 10 more slots of machines available. But we will be using quite a few of those up today because I do have some bookmarks of machines I want to get working on today. So we're going to do that. But let's keep looking around, and I'll show you what else we've got. On this side of the base over here, we have our compressor. So I've moved well, this is the steam squasher, but it's a compressor. I've moved that over to this side, and we have another slot for another multi-block, which we will actually be assembling that today as well. We'll talk about that in a bit, and we're going to get that done. So this is going to be now where we have the compressor, and of course the other multi-block will be over here. The macerator, I moved that somewhere else, but before we go show you where that thing is, I want to show you this guy right here. Let me turn that off because that can get kind of annoying. But this is our diamond compartment. So if you remember last time we made the iron compartment, I've gone ahead and upgraded it to gold. And I went to the diamond compartment, which wasn't too difficult to do, but it was a little expensive. And anyways, though, I've set this thing up, and it's quite good. So this thing has a ton of space. I think I've counted it was 400 inventory slots. And basically what I can do with this, and I showed it off a little bit last time, but we have these different kind of tabs, and I've organized these tabs in a certain way. So this tab here, I have dedicated completely to various tools, hammers, files, wire cutters, saws, screwdrivers, soft mallets, the wrenches, a couple of other tools I had extras of, knife and mortar, the wooden form. I don't even know if we use that anymore, but I put it here anyways. This tab is going to be to the various LV components. So we have our motors, conveyor modules, the pump, piston, robot arm, emitter, sensor, the LV machine hull, and electronic circuits. This tab is going to be for all of our plates. We have this one for the various different types of wires. And we have some fine copper wire, and we have some cables in here as well. This one over here, we will have our various fluid pipes. We have the item pipes as well. And we also have this one for the rods and some bolts, some screws. This will be for the various cells, and then this one right here is just a miscellaneous one. So that's what I was able to do with this thing right here. So it's quite good. I'm quite happy with that. So, yeah, this is quite good. And the other good part about this is it directly connects to these two crafting stations right here. And, yeah, quite good. So we can access all of this. We can craft using everything inside of this thing at once. So it is quite good. So I'm quite happy with that. There are a couple of drawbacks. For some reason in here, the inventory is a little weird. This is like my hotbar, so it's kind of weird how it's set up like this. And this right here are the actual, like, these 3 slots here. So it's a little weird how that is. Also, I did test this with the dolly just in case, and you can't pick this up with the dolly. So that is something else. If I ever want to move this, I have to, it'll be a little bit of a time-consuming process because I have to take everything out because I can't just pick it all up with the dolly. But otherwise, it seems to be working pretty well. I'm quite happy with this. So yeah, that's what that thing is. And yeah, quite a nice little upgrade right there to our storage situation. So, the other stuff I want to show you, have we changed anything up here? Let's take a quick look. I don't think much has changed. This room's unchanged. I don't think I've done anything in here. Oh, yes, this one over here, I have gone ahead and added some bookshelves to our enchantment table so we can actually enchant some things. I mean, if I try to enchant this, like the composite vest, I could actually enchant that. Oh, we could get protection 3 on that. The only problem is I don't know what other kind of enchantments there are in this pack. There could be some bad ones that I don't want, and I don't know what else I'd get. And we don't really have access to a way of taking enchantments off things. I don't think we have, like, a grindstone or something in this. There is, I believe, a disenchanter, but I don't... Yeah, this one right here, I don't think we can make that. So, yeah, you need Thaumcraft. And, yeah, that's probably not something we'll be able to do right now, so... Yeah, I'm a little bit afraid to do that. I mean, I probably could. I can make some diamond armor maybe and enchant that, see what we get out of that. We'll see, but I've got some lapis there. We also put a chest in here. This chest has all of my magic items, so we've got, you know, things from Thaumcraft, Witchery, some other stuff as well, blood magic, a couple of some stuff. I put the heads up here as well, because I figured they fit. So, yep, that's what we've got up there, and it is nighttime, so let's go to sleep. And then I'll show you the basement, because that is where a lot of the work has been done. So, let's go head on down into the basement, then. So, we'll head on down here. So, I have been hard at work down here, and, well, this floor right here. First of all, you'll notice that is where we now have our macerator and our steam oven. So, I've set up a little bit of a small ore processing system. It's basically the same thing we already had. But we've got all of our ores here. Turn that back on as well. All of our ores in here. We've got the steam grinder. And then we have our steam oven. And yeah, we've just got all these things up here. Nothing really different. It's the same as it was. It's just all right next to each other now instead of where it used to be. The steam oven used to be over here, and we had the macerator on top now. Well, that's been moved around. I haven't moved this yet. I'm probably going to move that a little bit later. This is still here for now, but I'll remove that at some point and put it somewhere else. So, now we continue on, because this is not the real basement right here. This is only half of it, and really it's not even half of the basement. The actual basement is down here, and that's where we have most of our stuff. We're not done yet, but this is the actual basement down here. So, as you can probably tell right there, we now have a gigantic steel tank, and it's actually way bigger than I thought it was going to be. I went bigger than I expected in the end. But this thing holds about, 12,500,000 millibuckets of steam, so it's quite good. It's already been full up. We're doing quite good on that. But yeah, we've got a lot of space down here now. I built up some walls trying to plan out a couple of rooms. I'm thinking we'll have some rooms on the side here, maybe a room over there. We have some more space back here. We've got space up there. That leads to an old mining tunnel, I think, to tin, so I just kept that there. But also, we can go even lower because I got another door over here, and this takes us down here, which is where we're going to do all the piping for the basement. So if I come over here underneath the steel tank, you can see we have our outputs for all of the steam right here, and that's where they're going to come out. So I've got 4 different outputs in the 4 cardinal directions. And yeah, we're going to have all of our piping for all this various stuff we need to put in the basement down here. You know, all the steam to feed all the machines will be inevitably putting down here. I think I am going to have to lower this maybe a little bit because it's only 3 blocks tall. So I might go down maybe 1 or 2 more layers. A little bit more digging, but I'm not going to do that right now. We don't have anything down on this part of the basement just yet. So yeah, that is what we have at this point. I'm quite happy with how it all turned out. Our coins are over here now as well. I still haven't decided where I'm going to put them. I think I should make an actual area for them. I mean, for now, I think I'll just keep them here since they're kind of out of the way right now. So that's quite good. But yeah, I'm quite happy with what we have. We got all of this stuff down here. And, you know, we've got the natural light coming in as well from up here. I'm quite happy with how that turned out. You know, get the natural light down to the basement as well on these 2 corners. And, yeah, quite happy with this. Oh, the way also that we're getting our piping in for the steam from up here to down here, we have a little pipe I've hidden back here. So that's what that right there is. But yeah, that is pretty much what I've been up to in the base expansion. We've got plenty of space. I mean, I could even put some stuff around here again now if I really want to. So we're not short on space at this point anymore. We even have more stuff available on the surface. I can keep building out there. So yeah, plenty of space, plenty of stuff that we can do. Let me put that away. Actually, let me put that in that slot there. But yeah, that is what we have. So now that I've shown you what we've done with the base, let's get on with a couple of quests and some other stuff that I want to get on with. So also, by the way, you probably have noticed as well that the steam machines, actually, they are nowhere to be found anymore, and that's because I have permanently retired them. And that actually has to do with some of the machines we're going to be making today, because we're going to be making machines for upgrades for the steam machines. So the forge hammer, we didn't have that one yet. Compressor, electric furnace, and the extractor. Now, some of these, we don't really need them because, you know, the compressor, we have the multi-block. The electric furnace, we definitely don't need. We already have the oven for that. But they are quests, so I figure we might as well make them. But there are a couple of other things we're going to be doing. We're going to be making a new machine, the chemical bath. And this one, I want to start with this one. This is the multi-block I was talking about, the steam fuser. Multi-block alloy smelter, and I actually have prepared most of the stuff. We're going to go straight to the steel part for this. We're not going to make this one out of bronze. We're going to go right into tier 2 for steam. And I've got most of the components made up, except for 2 things. The controller we don't have, and then this one here, the glass block. So this was a little bit confusing, but the way this works is it makes you think you need this right here, titanium reinforced borosilicate glass block, which, oh, if you look up how to make it, you need HV, so clearly we can't do that right now. So how do we use this? Well, if we come here to this slider here, you actually have options for what glass you use. So rhodium plated, palladium, let's see, iridium, keep going. Yep, can't do any of that. But I think it was 12. White clear glass, which is one we have. We also had some other options, I think. Enlightened fused quartz, not sure what that one is. Yep, reinforced glass as well. We have that one, that's 23. So basically, I can use any of these glass options that I find here. There's like 37 of them, so quite a few options, and I can use any of them that I want. Bloodstained glass, even if I wanted to. So, yeah, that's basically how the glass works for this, and it seems to work this way for a couple of different multi-blocks. So, yeah, I think the glass we're going to go with, I think I have quite a bit of reinforced glass. I think that just looks nice. Yep, this one right here. I think we needed 4 bits of that. And let me go ahead and add that to this chest here. So the last thing we're going to need, though, in order to make this, of course, is the actual controller. So let's go ahead and make that. What do we need? We are going to need... Oh, I don't know if I have those bronze-plated bricks just yet. We might have to make those. Let's see. That's just some bronze. Ah, that's just some bronze and bricks, actually. So let's grab a little bit of that stuff. I think we just needed 4 of them. And I think we can make those in an assembler, yes, with a brick. Okay, my bricks are going to be down here, so let's quickly run over this direction. Right, there we go. And then we'll just throw these up into the assembler. Was there a circuit needed for this as well? Yes, circuit 1. Alright, that should get us those bricks. And let's go over here. So what else do we need? So, alright, we have the Tembaga frame box. We have 1. We need another blast furnace, which is furnace and iron plate. Alright, so I've got my furnace in here still. 1 furnace and then an iron plate. Yeah. And again, like I said, this diamond compartment makes crafting stuff, it feels like a lot easier. I have all my storage now in that block for the most part. And, alright, how do we make this thing? No circuit. There we go, and that should be our 4 bronze-plated bricks. There we go. Alright, what else do we need for this guy right here? So I do need to make... I need some pipes. Tiny bronze fluid pipes. And a large bronze fluid pipe. Okay, perfect. And let's go ahead then and quickly put these away into here. That's the cables. I meant the pipes. Try to keep this thing nice and in order right here. Alright, so there we go. There's our large bronze fluid pipe. I don't know why the colors in this thing are a little bit strange for some reason. I noticed that, but it's fine. So, steam fuser. We're just missing that blast furnace now, which we have right here. Alright, so let's go ahead then and make that. Alright, steam fuser, and that should complete a quest. Yep, there we go. Steam fusing. Alright, so let's go ahead then and assemble this thing. We got all the parts here. And if we take a look at this, the way you assemble it is pretty much identical to the compressor. It's just you use some glass there. So, not much more to say other than that. And let's see. So I've already planned out where I was going to put the steam hatch at. That's right there. And we do want you facing the bottom. Start filling with steam, and then I want my input. Yep, I want the input to be... That will be the output, actually. But let's put the output there. And then the input is going to be right here. Yep, that should work. And then we're going to just need to keep building up. I think it is hollow. Actually, no, it's not hollow. It is hollow in the middle. I mean, the glass needs to go right there. Oh, wait, actually, no. Is it hollow in the middle? Let's see. No, we put in these, pipe casing things in the middle. Okay. That was this part right here. The way you make these is just a bit of steel plates, some pipes, and a frame box. So those are going to go in the middle, and then we put the glass on the side like this. That, and then we just go up 1 more level. And we install this. That should form. Lovely. Steam fuser. Okay, so that's looking good. Alright, now we need to get a chest input for that. So, where is chest? And I need some pipes. Small tin pipes will probably do, and I actually will need some conveyor modules as well. Alright, so, yeah, as you can see, when I try and get stuff out of there, you know, it does confuse you a bit with the inventory slots. Alright, so we'll put that there, and then we'll put our chest on top. I am going to actually... Yeah, I got the conveyor modules already. Put that like that. I think we want that to be set to import, and then we also need to add a conveyor module to the output. I realize it doesn't automatically output, I don't believe. So that's set to export, and I think that should work. Alright, let's go to sleep quickly, and then we'll test the thing out by making some bronze. And this should be quite a good upgrade. It's going to be, I think, 8 recipes at once. Not sure how much steam it's going to use, though. That I haven't actually determined, but we'll see. Bronze was 3 stacks of copper, 1 stack of tin should be a good ratio. We'll just throw it all directly in for now and see what happens. Alright, 6,400 liters per second of steam. I hope that's actually keeping up. I don't even remember how big the pipes are. Seems like it's keeping up. Maybe going down a little bit. Is it? Yep, it is coming out here. Alright, so it is working then. Let me quickly just see that pipe size. I'm not sure how big I made the pipes coming into this thing. Yeah, that's probably not enough. That's only going to supply 3,000 at once. Alright, so I'll have to upgrade those pipes at some point, but that's not going to be too hard to do. I've got quite a bit of potent prepared. Yeah, it's dropping slowly, but should be able to get through most of this. Yeah, we should be able to get through this, I think. Yeah, we should be fine. But anyways, as you can see, in just a couple of seconds, it feels like we've got already 2.5 stacks of bronze. So this thing's quite good. It's going to be quite useful. And yeah, as I said, I was preparing a lot of potent plates in here. So I'll go ahead probably and upgrade those pipes later on. Yep, and it's already done. 3.5 stacks of bronze, just like that. In fact, there might be a little bit more left to come. 4 stacks of bronze, just like that. Piece of cake. Lovely. Alright, so we can take the steam fuser off the list. Let's get on then with making some of these machines here. So like I said, these machines right here are pretty much mostly, except for the chemical bat, that's a new one. But most of these are just upgrades over our old steam machines, which again, I have pretty much retired at this point. So let's start then with the forge hammer. Let's see what we need for that. Oh, we have everything all ready to make that. Perfect. I love it when we have everything. Forge hammer. Oh, hello. Get some fireworks for that. Always nice to get some fireworks. Not sure why we got that for a forge hammer, but alright. Next, we have the compressor, which we need some pistons for. Ooh, we're out of plates in there, aren't we? How many plates do I have in here? Quite a bit. Let's take half a stack in there and put them in here for now. Alright, there's our second piston, so that should be enough to make the compressor. The basic compressor, electric furnace. We need 2 times copper wire. Okay. Do I have copper wire? Go. Yeah, again, I'm not sure why the color's all strange on this. I don't think it was doing that before either. A bit odd. Alright, so we got that, and there we go. Basic electric furnace. We're probably not even going to use that, but we might as well do it for the quest. And then we have the basic extractor. Okay, we do need a few more machine holes, it looks like. Get those 2 set up as well. Oh, we're out of what? Iron plates. Do we have any in here? Of course we do. We have everything stocked up right now, it feels like. Let's make those machine holes then. We're running out of a few things in there. Alright, basic extract. Oh, I need another piston for that one as well. Hey, ooh, we're missing a few things now. Alright, tin cables. I do have some of those prepped up in here. Those can go into there, and then we just need some steel rods. Which, again, I have quite a few of those prepped up. So, those can go in there. Alright, there's another piston. And that is an extractor. Alright, so let's set these 4 machines up first. And then we'll go to the new one, which is that chemical bath. There is a reason I wanted this. Alright, so doesn't really matter for the moment where I put these things. So let's just go ahead and grab our wire cutter. Why do I have this steel wrench on me right now? This is my actual wrench. I just noticed that. Let me put that wrench back in here for now. Right, there we go, and we need the wire cutter, because I need to put these in. So I'm just going to put these along here for now. No real rhyme or reason to it. I'll move these around probably as I see fit, but I just want to make sure that we at least have some of these. The extractor's definitely one we need because we don't actually have any other way of extracting stuff right now. And did I get all of these set to go to the back? Looks like they already are, so let's just set the item output to do that. As I have this pipe back here that feeds us into this chest here, so that's quite good. All right, well, we got those machines set up, and now let's go ahead and get this final machine set up for today, which is the basic chemical bath, and we're going to go ahead and... we need one conveyor module. Go ahead and make 2 of them, why not? There we go, basic chemical bath. Lovely. All right, so we got that thing made up. Now, I'm not sure how much power this thing uses. Looks like it depends. But we do have a specific need for it, so we're going to go ahead and just set that thing up here for the moment. And then connect you up and set you to auto output. Alright, well, why do we want this thing right here? Well, the reason I wanted it was earlier I was trying to make something called an auto chisel, and it does look quite complicated to make, but there's one item in here that I couldn't actually make, and, well, take a guess at which one it is. Did you guess this here? Sealed wood ring. It doesn't sound that hard to make, but the only way to make it is actually a chemical bath. And you need a wood ring with something called seed oil, which isn't actually that complicated. It's just a matter of some wheat seeds in a fluid extract, and I only need like 3 of those, and I get my ring. So, yeah, that's why we actually needed to make that chemical bath, because I need one single ring. In fact, I don't even think I have a wood ring on me. But we're going to go ahead and try and make this auto chisel now as well, because this was a quest that I had in the... when was it again? Building better bases. It was this quest here, chisel all the things. So I want to try and go ahead and make that. So I don't even know what we have for this right now. Looks like we don't have the iron chest just yet. So that's okay, I can do that. Let's go ahead then and try get that done. Perfect. Those in there, and then I just need to grab a chest. I'll go ahead and throw that into the assembler. Alright, the other thing we needed to make was the crafting table cover. Okay, we can use iron for that, actually. Alright, I was a little worried for a moment, although I think we actually have a little bit of that stuff. So you can use raw iron or iron. So iron plate and crafting table. Alright, crafting table's quite easy. I think flint's in here. Yeah, flint. And I did it the wrong way again. Crafting table. There we go. Alright, let's go and... what do I need? I already forgot. No, I don't need the aluminium. I need some iron. 1 iron plate to be exact. Alright, let's go over here. I think we put that into here on circuit 1. Alright, that should be done, and we have our iron chest. Lovely. Alright, what else did I need to make this thing? We needed the... ooh, steel screws? We didn't have those yet. Do I have any bolts? Alright, we can just go ahead and cut one. Why not? Quickly check to see I don't have... oh, I have more steel rods in there. I'll just cut that for now. Alright, let me figure out how to get this wood ring finally now. Oh, that's easy. Just a matter of cutting a plate with a knife. Alright, pretty simple. Alright, there we go. Easy enough. Alright, wood ring. Alright, now I need to grab a couple of seeds so we can get that seed oil stuff that we need. Where is that gonna be? Where are my seeds? Oh, there they are. Yeah, 3 seeds is all we need. We just needed 30 millibuckets. Hardly anything. We throw that into our fluid extractor right here. Grab you, and we should be able to just take that straight over to our chemical bath. This is the whole reason we needed this thing for. That's an interesting noise, isn't it? Alright, that should be a sealed wood ring. Alright, interesting process to make a single ring, but we got it. And we got our crafting table cover, and these steel bolts we can also put in to get the screws. Don't know where the 4th one ended up. Oh, there it goes. That was kind of strange. Alright, let's go to bed as well quickly before it gets too late. Alright, so let's go ahead finally and make ourselves an auto chisel. Lovely. Alright, so finally I was able to get this auto chisel thing. And I basically just wanted it because I didn't want to have to make another chisel myself, but, well, I couldn't make it before, so I had to do it now. So, at least I got it. Better late than never. We'll have to do more building in the future. I don't know where I want to put this thing, though. Maybe right here. So, I think the way it works is... not actually sure. Do we have to put an actual chisel into it, actually? Oh, maybe it's just automatically chiseled it. So, let's see. So, we just want a quick test on this thing right now. So, let's say I want to chisel this cobblestone to this. I bet you this is how it works. I put that in there. Yep, that's how it works. Okay, so maybe it does use durability. It actually uses quite a bit of durability, doesn't it? Oh, okay. Well, at least we figured that out. There was another quest. Yeah, this one. Chisel as fast as you can. We can get a speed upgrade. Automation upgrade. These are quite expensive, aren't they? Emerald plates. Alright, well, we won't worry about these right now, but at least I got this auto chisel. I figured this out. I thought this was actually going to chisel stuff on its own, but it looks like I actually have to use a chisel to put in there. Could be quite useful, though, at least, to chisel stuff on its own. Alright, so let me put that away and put these away. Alright, well, I think we got most of the stuff that I want to get done. That is the last thing I had of my bookmarks. So I'm quite happy about that. So let's go ahead and claim our rewards, I suppose. That one did not have a reward. But LV, we had some. So this was the electric furnace. We get a loot bag and some coins. Chemical bath, we get a loot bag and some coins. This is the extractor. We get a loot bag and some coins again. What was this one? Forge hammer. Again, loot bag and some coins. And we're going to get the compressor. I'll make a bet. It'll probably be a loot bag and some coins. Yep, more loot bags and more coins. Alright, was that everything there? Looks like it. And, yeah, we did get this one here. This was the multi-block alloy smelter. And that one we can get... bronze, steel, or a steam age loot bag. Might as well take that, I guess. That's hardly anything right there. And some more coins. Alright, so... let me just make sure that that was the last quest we didn't turn in yet. Yep, looks like we got everything else. Alright, so let's end off then by doing what we normally do and opening up our loot bags. So, Steam Age loot bag. We'll do that one first. Oh, we got a hobbyist steam engine and some sugar cane. I think I had one of these already in here somewhere. Yeah, that one right there. I'll put that in there for now. Alright, LV loot bag. Let's see what we get out of this. Ooh, we got the pumps again. 16 pumps and 19 glass. Wow. I can't believe we got that again. I still have 12 pumps from the last time we got that one. That was a good one. And some glass. Nice. All right. Hopefully we get more good stuff like that. I got a dorkwood sapling and a... ooh, vanadium steel hammer. That's a pretty good one, actually. Okay, we got some delighted meal and some copper ore. That was rough brownstone and 2 potions of fire resistance. Alright, well, we got a couple of good things out of that, but well, the pumps were definitely good. The pumps are the best one. That probably made it worth it on its own. We got 28 electric pumps. And that's actually amazing right there, isn't it? Wow. I'm quite happy about that. So yeah, that's the base expansion. I finally feel like we've made some progress on that, and I think we're ready to start pushing forward soon. Next time, we'll probably jump back into our forestry stuff that we were doing last time. So I still have to go out and get that appetite. So actually, if we look at the quest book here, which one was it? It was the forestry and multiforms we were working in. Yes, this one here. I still got to do this. I got to go looking for that appetite ore, so I'll probably have to go head out and do that. And the next time, we're going to keep on working our way back towards the multiform now that we're finally past this base expansion stuff. So, that is probably where we're going to leave this one. So, I hope you enjoyed this one, and I hope you enjoyed the base expansion. I hope you're liking how it looks. If you've got any ideas for the base, please let me know. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.